Okay, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into what is arguably the most anticipated final chapter in sports history. We are looking ahead to the 2026 tournament, and we're framing it as Messi versus Ronaldo, the last World Cup. It's honestly a totally fascinating look at legacy, at the immense weight of pressure, and the radically different psychological spaces these two football titans are occupying right now as they sprint toward the finish line.
So two players, one final World Cup. I want you to mentally strip away all the noise for a second. Take away the massive screaming crowds, the multi-million-dollar brand endorsements, the endless, exhausting media debates over who is the GOAT. What are you actually left with? You're left with just two minimalist figures standing under a harsh spotlight. Number 10, Lionel Messi. Number 7, Cristiano Ronaldo. It all boils down to the raw, unfiltered emotion of their final potential collision on the pitch.
All right, let's get into Section 1, 20 Years of Rivalry, the epic saga.
Looking at this timeline, we're tracking a massive 20-year journey, stretching all the way back to 2006. I mean, think back to that era. There were literally no iPhones yet, Ronaldo was rocking the frosted tips, and a super young Messi was just stepping onto the global stage. If you look at a comparison of their career stats since then, it's just mind-blowing. They've traded 13 Ballon d'Ors between them, they've shattered scoring records with over 1,600 combined career goals, and honestly, if you looked at simplified tactical diagrams of their playing styles from back then versus now, you'd see how they've totally evolved their games to stay on top. They've marched side by side right up to this final journey in North America.
And that brings us to the number 6. 6 World Cups each. I really want you to let that number sink in for a second, because it's absurd. To maintain that elite superhuman level of fitness, skill, and just sheer willpower to reach the world's biggest stage 6 separate times, it's practically unheard of. This represents an entire lifetime dedicated to a single pursuit, and it brings us to a boiling point where the stakes literally cannot get any higher than they are right now.
Which brings us to Section 2, Messi, and what we're calling the peace arc.
Picture this. Messi arrives in 2026 with a profound, almost tangible sense of peace. That metaphorical, incredibly heavy backpack of pressure, it has completely fallen off his shoulders. Because of his triumphs in 2022, his career checklist is, well, done. He achieved the ultimate dream for his country, so he steps onto the pitch now, not out of desperation, but with pure tactical freedom.
And this right here perfectly illustrates the core dichotomy of 2026. On one side, Messi sits calmly with a completed legacy. But look at Ronaldo's side. There is this glaring, empty void where the ultimate prize should be. This isn't just a basic comparison of what trophies happen to be sitting in a cabinet. It's about the entirely different psychological battlegrounds these guys are fighting on. Essentially, Messi is playing with house money, while Ronaldo, he is still chasing the house.
So let's flip the script and look at Section 3, Ronaldo and the chase arc. Now, 41 years old, Ronaldo is still in relentless pursuit. Looking at his stats, he has monumental achievements orbiting his legacy. The European Championship, the Nations League, countless Champions League titles, and a staggering 900-plus career goals. But despite all of that, all the focus is drawn right to that central, missing piece of the puzzle. At 41, he is still here, and he's driven by this incredibly intense desire to fill that void before the clock finally runs out.
Now, he has publicly stated in press conferences, "Not a dream for me." He claims that winning the World Cup isn't some desperate obsession. But come on, his actions and his famously relentless, fiery drive on the pitch tell a completely different story, right? Despite those carefully chosen quotes, the internal emotional tension and the stakes for his playing style are off the charts.
Which leads us to Section 4, the inevitable collision, converging paths.
Think of the structural design of the World Cup almost like a giant, highly suspenseful tactical diagram. Step 1, you have to survive the group stages. Step 2, advance through the absolute gauntlet of the knockouts. With every single round they survive, the blue arrows of Argentina and the red arrows of Portugal inch closer and closer together across North America. Every victory makes the probability of this ultimate clash more real.
If they win, just imagine it, a pulsing heartbeat of tension building as we picture both men, after 20 solid years of parallel greatness, walking down a stadium corridor toward the exact same physical point on the pitch. It is the ultimate what-if scenario, and it builds this unbelievable anticipation for a shared destination.
So who actually takes the final trophy? Imagine the stadium falling completely, totally silent. 100,000 people holding their collective breath. We're staring at two minimalist icons facing off, asking the ultimate question, In a tactical and mental battle between Messi's peaceful completion and Ronaldo's relentless pursuit, which philosophy actually wins out when literally everything is on the line?
Because after this, there is no next time. This 20-year epic saga is closing its doors forever. We've just explored how their journeys and career stats have shaped them into vastly different psychological warriors for this one final battle. This tournament isn't just about formations or football anymore. It's about immortality. It's about closure. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. If the stars do align and these two titans meet on the pitch one last time, are you actually prepared to witness the definitive end of an era?